So the loop here in the end, in the end, will be taking a Mark II Yotoi Aloe, adding 50 cold clean air, which is helium processing chain, adding and that will give you leaves and 2 fruit. Leaves and 2 fruit, which 1 fruit gives you 3 seeds. That gives you 6 seeds, which is enough plus 1 to give you 2 aloe to continue that loop, right? So that loop's fine. That loop is great as long as you can throw cold clean air and like liquid nitrogen at the problem. This is the recipe that will have issues. So, this is the recipe that will actually make our initial aloe fruit at Mark II, and we're going to need to have 1 to begin this process, but again, 1 makes 3, so we need to do this twice. So we need 2 successes of this 0.5% chance recipe in order to begin to loop and loop and loop and loop and massively multiply the amount of Mark II modules that we have. Which the goal is to get the aloe Mark IIs, not the fruit Mark IIs. So we need the aloe as the modules. So this is going to require PKS, chimeric proteins, and Arcod jelly. So, it's a few things. Things that we need, granted. The PKS, yeah, I'm going to need that anyway. For a very specific thing. Yadles. Hey, guess what we just unlocked? We got Yadles. Resveratrol and magnetic beads. The beads I can just make. I just like put one of the buildings down and just make it. Be like, hey, we've got beads because we have all this. Maybe not as much on the agar is available right now, but we've got this. And the resveratrol. Oh hey, look, it's Yotoi fruit. Gee, thanks. Thanks for the Yotoi fruit. Yeah, I guess I'm putting that on my network now. I have to add a train station to be like, hey, send some of that fruit over onto my train network. Because you can't go back. You can't go backwards from aloe. Once you have aloe, you have to like set up fruit with the aloe in the machine and do the specific recipes that give you the fruit. I could do that here, have something that does that, and then it's like, hey, we'll have resveratrol. I have a bit of organic solvent like in the mall. I'm just thinking, in the mall, do I have these things? And the answer is no to the fruit, but it's easy to put the fruit. I can just put the fruit down. So I could set up resveratrol, which would give access to a few things, but in particular the PKS for the moment. I have Bodos on my network. I can import Bodos. I would need to set up Yadles. That would be the thing that I would need to do. Speaking of which, I should now have access to the thingy, so I can make I could do the codex, and I could set the recipe. A building for a codex. Oh boy. I need a building for a codex. You are a building for a codex. For that specific codex, give me a few of those. And then something here, you'll make those. Missing, what? Here, let's just completely clear out some stuff, and there you go. Yeah, you can only request 12 things at a time in a single chest. Logistic request chest. It's odd. It seems like a pretty arbitrary limit to your request slots, but that's just how it is. That's vanilla mechanics. I'm sure there might be a mod that changes that unless it's a hard-coded limit. I wouldn't put it past the developers to have this be a hard-coded 12-item limit on the logistic request chests, but anyway. That ends up being a very interesting problem, by the way, with the Pie Suite, because a number of the later buildings, in particular, require more than 12 ingredients. So you have to be very careful when setting up the later phase buildings at Mark III and Mark IV, because some of them need 2 requester chests. Yeah, that might be a problem for me later on as I continue to scale this. Just gonna throw that out there. Also, Twitch being Twitch right now, somehow. It's showing me at 0 viewers. So, yay! Thank you, Twitch, for not showing an accurate count of how many viewers there are. There are a few users in chat. Just you know, a few people in the chat. Yeah, still here. There's folks still here, but hey. Twitch says I have no one for the moment. All right. Let us begin the process now, because I've gone through and I've looked at the breeding program for the Otoe, and it's going to need Yadles first, okay? That's the thing there. Yadles and like cold clean air, but I don't care about cold clean air. That's fine. That's simple. Simple. It's a lot of nitrogen. It's a lot of nitrogen is the key there. I need this pinned with all of the buildings and Archods, yes, and the bees, not the bees. Well, yeah, we'll need bees as well, and all the stuff for the bees. So, yeah, couple things, couple new creature things that we can do now, and a few other things. It's like place a building. Like, okay, that's fine. I am okay with this. It is a little expensive, very expensive on the nitrogen overall, but eh. It's kind of one of those things that you just place, and then once you have a backlog, you do nothing with ever again. Until we set up Mark III, which is going to upgrade our Mark IIs, right? I'm going to assume that Mark IIs are going to be involved somehow in the making of the Mark IIIs. So we'll get... Well, there will be situations where you'll be having to do all of the things all at the same time. So the Mark II stuff will need to move, the Mark III stuff will need to move, the Mark IV stuff will need to move, using the Mark III stuff that succeeds. So it's just... And then eventually you'll have all your Mark IV modules in a chest somewhere, taking up some amount of buffer space, and it will never move again. Until you use some. And then it'll move, and then it'll stop. It'll be very, very low overall consumption over time of stuff. I need stuffs. I am looking for the Vrauk Cocoons in our last 2 minutes before the regularly scheduled break. How many Vrauk paddocks at Mark II have I made? Enough! Enough for the 1 cocoon per second. Looking at this building count, do I want to actually consider making more than the 1 cocoon per second? Because, I mean, outside of the modules, I might be limited by the modules. So what's... yeah, 600. I don't have that. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that I don't have 600. in this chest. I have precisely 183 in this chest of the Mark II modules. And now I have 0. But hey, it's doing its thing, and apparently this has a couple, but it needs to continue to cycle back and forth. We are only limited by the cocoons, I think. These Mark II cocoons. We're limited by the speed of this machine. In the end, I'm pretty sure. But hey, I will take regular Vrauk and fill the rest of the modules and upgrade over time as we get more Mark II stuff. But for now, that would be... I've apparently gotten a Streamlabs support for my latest stream, because clearly I'm not streaming right now. Thank you for that, Twitch. So I guess Twitch failed for a brief moment, although I have 0 drop frames, so it somehow thinks I stopped streaming briefly. And now I am streaming again. I have 16 viewers now, according to my list. But anyway, it's time to take a brief break. When I return, I will grab the stuffs in this summary, stick it into my crawdad, and find a place to place this and get the rest of the modules that I need. Mark 1s, not Mark 2s. It'll not really affect anything in the end, because I have other things that need to be scaled in order to actually use the full production capabilities of this. So, yay, we'll be back shortly. Time for a break. And I have returned. Welcome back. All right. So, assuming that everything is still operational, I see my preview is operational, so I'm going to continue. Things. Yes, I need buildings, I need modules, I need stuffs. Stuffs need to happen. I will take those. Thanks. Those 9 beautiful, glorious modules. Alright. I don't have inventory space. Where's my vehicle? Crawdad! I need you. I need Crawdad. And then I need some of those. Yeah, I have those. So the Crawdad can take these Mark II Vrauk paddocks. Do I have a sufficient number of the sap extractors? I need 1 more stack. No, I have enough. I have 30. So I did manage to think about that. How about the moss farms? I need the moss farms. I don't need the solid seps. Hold on. Why are you a Mark II? Aren't you a Mark II? You can be a Mark II. And you can be a Mark II as well. And we can default. We are fully Mark II on this build. Isn't that nice? This build will be fully Mark II. And yeah, we have need of 2 of those solid seps. Yeah, there is no stuff if you don't make stuff. I mean, that's true. I have some fundamental disagreements with Elon Musk though, lately. Hello, welcome. So compost plant, Mark IIs. Do I have any in here? I have 5. How about washers? I should have washers. I should have soil extractors. I should have high pressure furnaces. There we go. Yay! So I've got all the buildings I need. So let's go find a place. Find a place to do the stuffs and the things. Alright, where do I want to have all these Vrauks? Alright, I also need the modules. Yeah, the modules would be nice. the Mark 1s, the remaining modules. So we've got, like, how many? Close to 200. Not quite 200. If I go back and grab some more, I probably have the 200. We shall see. You there. Not quite. Or, actually, exactly. Exactly. Wasn't that 19, that other stack? Wasn't that stack a 19? So plus 6 would finish the stack. Yeah. Hey, 200. We need 400 more to at least fill the machines. So wherever I have stuffs, my Vrauk, as I get stuck between two machines. Charging stations. I need to get around you. I need to get around this. Come on. Come on. I need to squeeze through these two things at faster than 1x game speed on... Alright, you know what? Just screw it. Just get rid of stuff. Break stuff down. Just die. Just die. Just like put it somewhere next door with the intent that I will be able to better squeeze through that much of a gap in future. Because I guarantee that this will not be the first or the last time I try to squeeze through that gap. So why did I come here? Right, I need the 400 modules of Vrauks, which is a bit. That's 6 stacks of caged Vrauk that I should have. I would hope. That I run right past, apparently. There we go. Now, if I uncage them, they'll only stack to 25. So, I'm going to keep them caged for now. I need 2 more. Because I can't math, apparently. So that's 400 cage Vrauk with 200 of the modules. Yay! So, where do we need to put it? Or where shall I put this? Where shall the Vrauk live? Always a good question. Where will it live? We've got this space right in here, as well as the one right across the street. Rails. And we have a spot here, and technically a spot here, although I would rather use this space to scale the copper when I need to scale up my copper at some point in the future. Not any time soon will I need more copper. Just for reference, this is most of my raw ore stuff. There's a reason we haven't done anything with ores in a really long time, and that is because I chose to scale to 5 yellow belts of processing of most of the ores relatively early on. So I spent a long time working on ores so that I could spend an even longer period of time not touching them ever again. Uh, anyway, I think this whole space, this entire space on this side of this rail is clean. The tin will not scale here because I've already tapped out this entire tin patch effectively. So this build of the tin would require that I would have to import ore if I wanted to scale this up in this space here. And I don't think I'm going to do that. So I think in the end I'm going to build this here for the Vrauk. So this will be the Vrauk Cocoons. However the heck I actually spelled that correctly. Oh boy. So let's go. Let's build things. Let's build things. And then once the Vrauks are completed, once I finish this particular build for the Vrauks, it will be time to do the setup for the bedding. And then once I have the setup for the bedding done, have I gone too far? I have. I need to go to the right and then down again. And then once I have the bedding done, it's time to directly make cotton guts. I think it will be that time to do the cotton guts directly. Because I will have the bedding that I need effectively for the cotton guts at scale. We can return and do cotton guts, which I need to like decide a build for that as well at some point. All right, so train station is how this will always begin. It will begin with this train station as long as I have the rails for it. I think I have enough rails for this. This will not need any input whatsoever, and it will only output cocoons. And there should be a redundant signal, or a broken signal, to clear at the entrance, as is normal. And that is that. Congratulations, we have a train station. We have a Vrauk Cocoon Station 1. Vrauk Cocoon Depot 1. Applied to those two thingies, and we are good. See how quickly that goes? So unfortunate that the little mod I was using to delete the ores doesn't work anymore in this version of the game. So unfortunate. I would really like to just delete that titanium ore to not have it blocking the view of the buildings. In particular, yeah, I would like to delete this, please. But no, I can't. Literally impossible now. Okay, where should I begin with this? We can now do a pin. Get rid of the summary. Alright. We will begin with... Okay, so this makes enough biomass, I'm assuming. We will begin with the biomass. Obviously, we'll begin with biomass. I need to have 28 sap extractors. We'll set this right about there. 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I'm going to do this slightly differently than what I usually do. Like this. And outputting on the belt here on both sides. This is just to reduce the length of this particular build, because I have a feeling that 2 lines of 10 Vrauk paddocks will not be as tall as 1 line of 28 of this. So I've split this, because this would just spike too far down for my tastes. Let's keep things somewhat reasonable in terms of... Oh. Length. Why you do this? Well, it gives me a good little indicator. Power. Yes, let's have some power. Power is good. Hey, it functions. So if King's still here, when are you gonna change this? When are you gonna change the sap extractors again? That was on the list as well of things to do. Make these more consistent with the rest of the plant stuff. Require modules that you make. It's like, oh, it's a tree. It's a building of a tree that extracts sap from the tree. Where's the tree as the module? Right? We need the tree as the module. Let's see. I need a soil extractor making... I need 3 soil extractors making soil that will feed a oh, right. Separator. The separator will make more biomass. Yeah, been busy with other things, of course. Of course, everyone's always busy with other things. I'll build that there. I think these are roughly the same. These are exactly the same size. How did I get that in one? Like, how did I know? How did I, like, from memory, guess that these were exactly the same size to do this alignment? Alignment is everything. Spacing is everything. That'll just output there. These, I don't... Yeah, this is producing low enough amounts that I'll just do that. Success! We have that stuff. Now the soil for the... Or no, now not the soil for the separation, now the production of the biomass. Right, and then this will produce excess biomass, for reference. 2 washers. Making creamy latex. Gee, I wonder when this is going to change. Has it already... Actually, hasn't this already been nerfed in some way? I seem to have a memory of something involving the output of the biomass from this recipe in particular getting slightly nerfed. I could be wrong, though. That will make that stuff. I now need the recycling, or the compost plants. Oh boy. Hello, compost plants. I need 3 of you. Come on, autosave. You can do it, autosave! There's those 3. This will give a bunch of compost. 926 out of 3? That's a bit much for a regular inserter. It's like that seems like a little bit of a high number for 3 fast inserters. I'm not going to bother with trying to muck about with them. Okay, that's biomass. So we have biomass, we have these things. Oh, right, there's one more thing. How much does this make? More than enough for this. But this needs 0.75. Okay. So one of those interesting little points to make, because I'm using the matrix solver of Hellmod, is that it wants me to basically combine the outputs of this and the outputs of the solid separator on the limestone, and then use that combined to feed the creamy latex and the moss up here. And I don't want to do that exactly. I don't want to do it like that. I would rather have an extra extractor here to feed the latex, the creamy latex, and not have to deal with having a back and forth belt. All right. So moving on to the soil. 3 soil extractors. Yeah. 3 of these. I have to think about... Well, I'm probably going to do that. 1 more tile in. Then the soil extractors. Alright, you make soil. These each produce a fair amount. So that I will use the loaders again. There we go. This soil will get separated right next door. If I can find my soil separators in the vehicle. Oh, vehicle! Give me my soil seps. Solid seps. They separate solids. Separating by grain size. I can, I've used much smaller machines like this. They are fun little things. The brand, I think the machine is called a Rototap. It's this machine that has these little round dishes, metal dishes with mesh on the bottom. And each dish has a different spacing in the mesh. So at the very top one, you have the biggest gaps. They can be really, really big gaps made out of like this metal wires that are sticking across. Big gaps for filtering really big things. And then as you go down, that spacing gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller to the very, very smallest sand size at the very end. And these layer on top of each other and get put into the machine that takes that whole stack and shakes it. And then they call it the tap, the roto tap, because it's rotary, it's shaking, going side to side. It also has a piece of metal at the top that taps on the top of the stacks. So it's tapping on the stacks, and it's shaking. And what that does is it filters each layer will have that particular grain size in it of soil that you have poured from the top down. And it will get smaller and smaller and smaller until you have the very bottom, which is all the rest that is really, really small. Isn't geology amazing?